Nobody taught him to be gentle. Nobody asked him to protect her. He just decided. And what happened in that house over the next few weeks would leave everyone watching speechless. But to understand why a fierce, independent Bengal cat changed overnight, we have to go back to the day she arrived. Tiger had always been the only cat in the house. He ruled every windowsill, every sunbeam, every corner of the kitchen counters. He was confident, athletic, and completely uninterested in sharing his space with anyone. He chased the red dot for hours and scaled the bookshelves like it was nothing. Sarah had raised him since he was 8 weeks old. She knew his moods, his quirks, his loud demands for attention at exactly 6 in the morning. She knew the exact sound he made when he wanted food and the exact stare he gave when he didn't. Friends often warned her that Bengal cats weren't meant to share their territory with anyone, human or animal. Sarah had laughed it off, telling them Tiger simply hadn't met the right roommate yet. She had no idea how soon that theory would be tested. What she didn't know was how he would react to a stranger. A tiny, trembling kitten named Mochi had been found behind a grocery store. She weighed less than a pound. Her fur was matted, her eyes were barely open, and she could not stop shaking. The shelter said she needed round-the-clock care or she wouldn't survive the week. Sarah didn't think twice. She brought Mochi home that same night, and the moment she stepped through the door, Tiger was already waiting. He sat perfectly still on the kitchen tile. His ears were forward, his tail flicking slowly. He stared at the small bundle in Sarah's arms like he was trying to solve a puzzle. Sarah held her breath. Bengal cats were known for being territorial. She had read every article warning her this introduction could go badly. She braced herself for hissing, for swatting, for a long and difficult adjustment. Instead, Tiger did something nobody expected. He took one step closer, then another. He lowered his head and sniffed the air around Mochi's tiny paw. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then he backed away and sat by the wall, watching from a distance. It wasn't rejection, it was something else entirely. Over the next few days, Tiger kept his distance, but he never left the room. If Sarah carried Mochi to the nursery, Tiger followed. If you set Mochi down on a blanket, Tiger positioned himself nearby, always within sight, always alert. At night, while Mochi cried for warmth she couldn't find, Sarah heard something strange coming from the living room, a low, steady rumble. She walked in to find Tiger curled tightly around the kitten, his body forming a protective wall. Mochi had stopped crying. She was pressed against his chest, breathing steady, finally calm. Sarah stood in the doorway, unable to move. She had never seen Tiger like this before. But what happened the following week would change everything she thought she knew about him. Mochi grew stronger every day, but she was still fragile, still unsteady on her tiny legs. She would wobble across the floor and collapse mid-step, exhausted from the effort. Each time, Tiger was there before Sarah could even react. He would walk beside her at her pace, slow and careful, letting her lean against his side when her legs gave out. If she wandered too close to the stairs, Tiger would block her path with his body. If another cat from outside scratched at the window, Tiger would stand between the glass and Mochi, watching, unmoving until the sound stopped. It wasn't just patience anymore. It was something closer to instinct, something closer to family. Sarah started noticing the small things she had overlooked before, the way Tiger would pause his own meal if Mochi cried from another room, the way he would nudge his food bowl closer to hers, even though there was no shortage of food in the house, the way his entire posture changed, softer, slower, more deliberate, whenever Mochi was near. Sarah began recording small clips just to remember these moments. She never expected anyone outside her living room to care. I see you still haven't subscribed. Honestly, that breaks my heart a little bit. If stories like this matter to you, hit that button right now. It helps more than you know. Little did Sarah know, this was only the beginning of what Tiger would do for Mochi. One evening, Sarah came home late from work, exhausted and distracted. She had left the back door slightly open while bringing in groceries, just for a moment. Mochi, curious and fearless despite her size, slipped through the gap and out into the yard. By the time Sarah noticed, the kitten was gone. She searched the porch, the bushes, calling Mochi's name into the darkening evening. Panic set in fast. It had rained earlier that day, and the yard backed onto a narrow stretch of woods. Then she heard it. A loud, insistent meow coming from Tiger, who was standing at the very edge of the yard, refusing to move. He had never gone outside before in his life. He hated the grass, hated the wind, hated anything beyond the safety of the windowsill. But there he was, pacing back and forth at the tree line, calling out again and again. Sarah followed him through the wet grass, her flashlight cutting through the dark, and there, tucked beneath a fallen branch, soaked and frightened, was Mochi. Tiger had found her. He hadn't hesitated for a second. Sarah scooped Mochi into her arms, and Tiger immediately pressed against her legs, refusing to leave her side until they were both back inside. Her fur was damp and cold, and she had stopped meowing altogether, too exhausted to make a sound. Sarah wrapped her in a towel and held her close, her hands trembling almost as much as the kitten had been minutes earlier. Tiger never left the room that night, not even to eat. That night, for the first time, he slept curled completely around the kitten, his paw resting protectively over her tiny body. Neighbors who had seen the security footage later couldn't believe what they were watching. A Bengal cat, known for being aloof and independent, had walked into the woods to bring home a kitten that wasn't even his. Sarah posted the video almost as an afterthought. She had no idea it would be seen by hundreds of thousands of people within days. Comments poured in from strangers saying it had brought them to tears. Veterinarians reached out, saying this kind of behavior was rare, even among cats raised together since birth. But Sarah didn't need the validation. She had already seen it with her own eyes, every single night, in the quiet moments nobody else was watching. Today, Mochi is healthy, confident, and almost unrecognizable from the trembling kitten who once fit in the palm of a hand. She still follows Tiger everywhere, copying the way he stretches, the way he watches birds from the window, the way he sits perfectly still before pouncing on a toy. And Tiger still watches her, even now, even when she no longer needs him to. He sleeps beside her every night. He waits by the door when she's out of sight for too long. He has never once raised a paw against her, not even when she steals his favorite spot in the sun. Visitors who meet them now often assume they grew up together from day one. Sarah says she didn't adopt a kitten that day. She adopted a brother for her cat, without even realizing it. Looking back, she says the hardest part was trusting an instinct she couldn't explain, the quiet feeling that Tiger somehow already understood what Mochi needed before she did. Because somewhere between the first cautious sniff and that night in the rain, Tiger stopped being just a pet. He became a protector. He became family. Sometimes the bonds we least expect turn out to be the strongest ones we'll ever witness. Do you think animals can truly love each other the way Tiger loves Mochi, or is this just instinct dressed up as affection? Tell me in the comments.